What's up, filmmakers, peoples? Welcome to Video Village. I'm your host, Mo Ski, and today we got my man, Chris Preyor. I'm going to go read down his bio a little bit, let y'all know who I'm on the call with. Chris has written, directed, produced 4 short films and 12 episodes of a web series entitled Moments, which captures a moment in time when a person is living through a life experience told from the first-person perspective. His short film, Open Wounds, was an official selection for the Gwinnett Center International Film Festival, July 2015, the Los Angeles Sin Fest, August 2015, and an award winner at the Accolade Global Film Competition, September of 2015. His short film, The Save, was an award winner at the Indie Fest Film Awards, August 2016. As a screenwriter, Chris has been recognized in several script competitions, film festivals. His feature script, Missing Alice, was selected for the Southern Storytellers multimedia web series in September 2017 and voted top 75 in the Launchpad feature competition in 2018. His short film, Long Odds, is a finalist in the Hollywood International Moving Pictures Film Festival, August 2017, and a finalist in the Barnstorm Film and TV Script Fest, 2017. What's up, bruh?
What's going on, brothers?
You working?
Oh, man, I'm trying, man. I'm trying to keep up with you.
Well, thank you for joining on the show, man. I had to get you on because you first showed me love on your Open Wounds film showing. You had put out a call on Facebook to have all the local filmmakers submit their films, and it was a pretty dope event that you had because it wasn't a film festival. It was basically a platform for people to showcase their films, and your film was the headliner. And you know, I've been telling you ever since then, I'm like, you got to do that again, bro. So what's up?
Hey, man, you're right. I'm lacking, man. I do want to set up another one, so it's coming, and you're going to be one of the first calls I make. Trust me.
Word. Yeah, that was a pretty dope concept. So let's get into your filmmaking journey, man. Where you from? How'd you get into film? Basically, I know where you're from, but let the people know where you're from. I'm sorry for all the Detroit stuff, but let the people know where you're from.
Oh, no, it's cool. Well, I know what you're getting at, but I'm actually from Jersey. I'm from New Jersey, born and raised. Moved to Atlanta in 94 to come down to school at Clark Atlanta University. But what Mo is referencing is I'm a diehard Chicago Bears fan. My wife is from Chicago. But yeah, I'm a diehard Bears fan. I started to wear my Urlacher jersey. You know, he is going to the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
But I didn't want to create that kind of tension between me and my boy Moski. But so actually, man, as far as my filmmaking journey, man, I've always been a writer. I think I started screenwriting, I want to say back in like 2002 is when I first started reading screenplays and start learning how to write them, took some classes, stuff like that. And actually, that's my passion. So I really only got into the filmmaking when I started hearing people say, man, you got to start producing your own stuff. It's going to take a little more than just writing the screenplays, sending out these query letters, yada, 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 which feels a lot like just spinning the tires. So I said, well, let me go ahead and start, trying to make some connections, meet some people that know some things behind the camera, and start producing these short films myself. So the first one I did that with was Open Wounds. That was my first shot at it. I shot my shot. Yeah, so, and I was pretty much learning as I went, man. My actors on that film, I was learning from them. My man Mario, who was my director of photography and basically handled all the technical stuff. I learned from him. So each film I learned a little bit more about directing and all that stuff, really, man. Because like I said, if I could just sit behind my computer and write and pass it off like a baton and let somebody else direct and produce, I probably would.
Yeah, you definitely have an eye for talent because I used one of your actors. Shout out to Jared Stovall, Stove.
right.
For
Brother Stowe, that's my boy.
film. Yeah, I used him to cast him in my short film, The Social Hitman, which was he did a pretty dope job. So you definitely got an eye for talent. And to piggyback off what you were saying about you started as a writer first, and then you got into directing per se. So to piggyback off that, with technology, because I was a writer at first as well, and then back in the day it was film. You had to really get film on your reel, changing out the whole film reels and everything. We didn't have this technology today with DSLRs and everything like that. So with technology, do you think everybody's doing it and it's becoming a flooded market for more bad films?
I mean, I definitely think the technology is making it more accessible, making it easier for people to say, oh yeah, I'm a filmmaker. Yeah. Oh yeah, I could direct, blah, blah, blah. I mean, and in some ways that's a good thing. So I believe that the cream is going to rise to the top regardless. So everybody can get into it and do what they do or whatever. But at the end of the day, audiences, people are going to either like what you do or they're not. So, if you put something out and it's garbage and they don't like it, that's, you might have to look into something else.
Yeah.
But,
now with all your films and the accomplishments you acquired with going to all these film festivals, do you pay for all these locations and going to LA and everywhere? You have to put up your own money for that?
If you go, most of the festivals that I've entered, like you really only have to go out there if you win, So if you don't win, you don't have to worry about like travel expenses.
Yeah.
You do have to pay to enter the festivals or the competitions just to submit. But again, sometimes if you win or if you're a finalist, they'll say, in some cases, it's like a prerequisite, like you got to sign on the dotted line. If you're a finalist, you're going to come to LA to where we announce the winners or where we're going to do this. So, I'm like, phew, I hope I win, but let me start saving now if I'm going to have to make that trip. But if not, man, it's really just the expenses. The only expense is paying to submit, and that's about it.
Yeah.
So,
now to other filmmakers that's watching, would you advise them for let's say with short films, would you advise them to make the investment to go to all the film festivals across the country, or the ones they got accepted to? Is it worth it, or would you wait for the feature film to pop off and say, hey, I'm gonna put my investment into the feature rather than the short film?
Probably this is my my opinion, depending on where you are in the process. Like for me, like I said, just 4 short films and I'm still learning a lot. But I'm getting a little, some nibbles here and there. If I can go out, if I'm invited or someone says, you got picked as a finalist, come out, I would want to make it happen, just because I'm at that point now where after 4 short films and a bunch of screenplays, I haven't really done that. So now it's kind of time to take that next step, if for no other reason than the network and get the experience and stuff like that. The networking, I think, is huge, on the independent scale, whether it's just here in Atlanta or wherever. That networking is big. So a lot of those festivals and contests and stuff, that's the biggest gain. Even if you don't win anything, if you go to the film festival because your short film is showing, it can't hurt, man. It can only help to go out there and chop it up with the other people. You know what I mean? So if you can afford it, man, I would recommend it for sure.
So use the short film as your calling card to get in. But
there you go.
The feature films, we shooting for that distribution.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Now, do you go through the whole film festival route before you put it online, or do you do it simultaneously?
Yeah, I do the film festival route, just because some of them say they don't, it shouldn't be available to wide audiences or out there online yet. Some of them don't care, you know what I mean? But just to avoid any miscommunication, I just wait. I've submitted to enough festivals, and I'm not, it's not hitting for anything. Then I say, okay, let's go ahead and put it on YouTube, or let's explore Amazon, whatever the case may be. But while I'm doing it, I usually keep it pretty low key off YouTube and all that stuff.
Okay. Yeah. Now tell me a little bit about this learned behavior project.
Learned behavior is the most recent short that I filmed, man. It was kind of along the lines of open wounds, where I try to have a little message, little underlying message in the story. You know what I mean? And try to do a little bit more than just entertain. So learned behavior basically revolves around the main character, Noah, played by Moses Jones. That's another talented dude, man, if you need a actor.
Okay.
On Facebook and stuff. But Noah just recently, he loses his grandmother, and that's where we meet him. He's at the cemetery, at the funeral or whatever, and he's just going through his mind all the lessons that his grandmother taught him about being a man and doing the right thing. So on his way home, he stops at a restaurant. He comes across a group of brothers who, there's also an older white man in the restaurant who they know from the neighborhood, who's just been released from jail. And he's a white supremacist, basically. So they find out some things that he had done in the past to a common friend. And so this group of brothers, the tension rises. These group of brothers and this white supremacist, getting ready to lock horns, and somebody's gonna get hurt. And again, so Noah is reflecting on the lessons he learned from his grandmother about doing the right thing and acts accordingly. So, not to give away the ending, whether or not he succeeds or not, but
Not only was your ass driving drunk, you hit and killed a 10-year-old kid and you're out already?
Who cares? One less crack kid walking the streets. Good riddance.
Man, I knew that kid, man. I knew his family. He was a good kid.
Just stop
man,
it.
Did you hear what he just said? What are you, some type of Uncle Tom or,
hey, man,
or Jesus freak or something? Give me the gun.
Yo, hey, what are you doing, man?
Shut up, Tom.
So what, you just gonna shoot him? Huh? You gonna kill him? He killed somebody you know, and so now you gonna kill him. Come on, man, this ain't the movies, and you ain't no gangster, man. Like, I know you, man. Don't you, work at the mall or something like that?
Bitch, you don't know me.
Okay, I don't.
Yeah, it's relevant for these times.
Absolutely. Unfortunately, man. I mean, even I did Open Wounds in 2015, and unfortunately, that's still relevant. You know what I mean? But
yeah. Now, what are your plans for distributing learned behavior? Is it film festival route, then putting it online, or can people?
Well, learned behavior is online now.
Okay.
We did the film festival. I didn't shoot because actually when we finished, I shot Breaking Harmony, another one I did about mental illness, and learned behavior was kind of at the same time. I bit off more than I could chew. I didn't know what I was thinking, but that was that last summer. It was like almost simultaneously or at least back to back. So when they both got completed, when we finished both of them, I went ahead and did the film festival a little bit. And just during that process, man, I start getting that itch again where, you get a story in your head and you're like, man, I got to get started on this. Mm-hmm. And that's what happened, man. I'm working on something now, a feature that's it's been kicking my butt, but it kind of took some of my attention away, learned behavior. I hate to admit it, but that's what happened. So I still got some more circulating of learned behavior to do. I need to get that out there a few more places, but it is on YouTube and people can check it out there.
Okay, sure. Cool. Now you said you tackling your first feature, like actually trying to film it, or you just writing?
No, just writing. I had this story, just writing this feature. It's not my first one. The one Missing Knowledge that you had mentioned at the top, that was one of my first. That's my first one that's gotten a little bit of recognition or whatever, but this one I'm currently writing, man, I've had the idea for years and I just started writing it, and I've had to read, like I'm on the 5th version because every time I get to the end I'm like, so I start over. But as far as filming, I'm kind of like, you know, like I said, I learn every time I'm on one of my short film productions. So I feel like I might need to knock out one or two of them again before I'm ready to tackle my first feature.
Okay. Because you know that's gonna take a whole nother animal.
That's a whole nother ball game. Yeah, so
people taking off work.
Right, exactly, all kind of stuff.
Yeah. You got to pay folks for that.
No doubt. You gotta pay folks for some of the short films. I mean, hey man.
I'm saying you don't just you don't feed them and that's their payment.
Nah, well, hey, I've been lucky to work with some actors who like, you know, just feed me, so that's cool. But some of the others, the technical stuff, you know, those cats want to get paid, man. You know, you want to get paid, so. You know, I know for a feature, everybody gonna get paid. So I want to make sure I got my game tight before I start getting all these other people involved and start dishing out the bucks. You know, the big bucks anyway. Yeah.
Now, you got to Atlanta in 2002, or when did you come?
94. I've been in Atlanta since 94. Yeah. Okay. Well, that's when I started school. I was living here full time starting in 98.
Okay. So in the 90s, you had the music boom. So you seen the whole film thing unfold here. So how was it seeing that transition?
It's crazy, man. To be honest, man, I couldn't I wish I could say that I saw it gradually happening, but I really didn't, man. It was just like one day, boom, everybody was here. Every time I watched a movie, I'm like, man, that look like Marietta Street downtown, you know what I'm saying? And you know, you would see stuff in different websites or whatever saying such and such is filming in Atlanta, Jamie Foxx filming in Gabrielle Union filming in. So, you know, it really, to me, it kind of happened out the blue because I really wasn't paying attention to it like that. Kind of just focusing on what I was doing and what I needed to do to get better. So I wasn't really what the big dogs was doing. I wasn't on my radar. But you know, now you can't miss it, man. I'm out here and they just opened this, you know, not just, I guess it's been like 2 years now, the studio out here in Union City. You know, that's like a 10-minute walk from where I live. And I'm like, this is crazy, you know. And I think they filmed that new the what is it? The Fox show about the mutants, whatever the name of that show is. But I know they shoot that out here at this studio. So and it's, you know, that's that studio in Union City. It's full-fledged operation.
Okay.
They working in there. They shooting the Gifted. That's what it is. They shooting that. And so yeah, it's working. It's up and running.
Okay. Now, to transition into that with all these studios popping up in the city, what would you say to people on the outskirts looking in, saying, "Hey, I need to move to Atlanta, get this popping"? Some people may think it's like LA, where I may bump into an agent, or I may bump into a director, and boom, my career is popping. Is it like that, or what can you say?
In my experience, ain't nothing boom like that. So, you know what I mean? That's the wrong, I would say that's the wrong attitude. Now, if you want to move to Atlanta, because you know the film and TV industry is booming now, and you just want to be in that environment, for sure. Because then if you here and you know you got something to show, you know, whether you're a writer or photographer, videographer, whatever the case may be, if you have something to show, then you definitely want to be in an environment where there are people to show your talent. You know what I mean? So if you're saying I want to move to Atlanta or I want to move to LA because I have talent and I got something to offer and it'll be easier to show that there, let's go that route. But don't come hoping you just gonna bump in the
walking around with your head shot like
man, that ain't gonna happen. You know, that ain't, you know, whatever. Tyler Perry been down here for how long, and I ain't bumped into him yet. I ain't never seen him in person, so you know.
I like to say that Atlanta, media-wise, it has painted the picture of, hey, come here, it's the Hollywood of the South, but people fail to realize that the deals are still being made in Atlanta. They're just using Atlanta, and Hollywood.
Right.
they're using Atlanta as the, for the tax incentives. So they're coming with their crew. They come in already established, you know what I'm saying? So it ain't like you gonna walk onto a set and say, hey, I can be a gaffer, I could be a DP, let me run that. They already got that squared away. So media has sort of painted the picture like, hey, come to Atlanta, knock on this person's door and you'll be on the film set tomorrow. That's not the case.
At all.
The business is still being done out west, and they come in here for the location purposes.
Right.
So
and I'll bump into that even on the like looking. I'm on a mission now, looking for like representation. You know what I mean? I start winning, getting a couple laurels and stuff like that. I'm like, well, let me look for somebody. Maybe somebody appreciate my writing. Let me see, that'll help me get a foot in the door. Even that, like Atlanta ain't really the place for that. You know what I mean? That kind of situation, you still need to be in LA or New York. So
yeah.
The big business is still being handled elsewhere.
Exactly. Well, I'm gonna transition into our filmmaker quote of the day. When asked what a director does, I help. Quoted by Krzysztof Kieslowski, writer and director of Three Colors trilogy back in the 90s. Now, based off that quote, normally directors are the one people coming to hey, what do I do? How do you help your cast or crew to better themselves? How do you contribute to your film set?
Well, as a director, I guess also it's kind of connected. As a writer, it's really easy for me to direct because I got the whole story in my head already. So I know exactly what I was thinking when I wrote it, so I can relate that to as far as the actors are concerned. I can say, well, this is what this character was thinking. Just regular director stuff. This is where he's coming from. This is, this is the motive or whatever behind this dialogue or this action. And as far as like the technical side, whether it's my DP or whatever, it's just like we will. I try to help them set the mood, or give them direction of what I think the mood should be, and then let them use their expertise to figure that out because they know better than me in that regard. If I can say, hey man, I want this to be, a somber mood, even though we're not at a funeral or we're not whatever. I want this to be a little somber. I want the characters to look, I want the audience to feel that the characters are really down and out right now. Now make that happen. You know what I'm saying? Like you use what you've learned and your expertise to bring that vision to life. You know what I mean? Because I can't tell them shoot from this angle or to look better from that angle and put the lighting here because that ain't me. You know what I mean? So one of the major things I like to do is give everybody I'm working with the confidence and let them know that I trust them to make the best decision. That's why you here, because like I said, I'm still learning, so I still need, I need you to do you. I'm doing me. I wrote it, I'm gonna direct it, but I really, I don't want your help. I need your help to make the project the best it can be. So I just give them everything I have as far as my vision for the story, get their feedback, and it's like a give and take, man. At this stage, what I mean? If I was an Oscar-winning director, writer, or whatever, then I could just lay it all out. Do this, do this, make it happen.
Are you one of those directors where you know the exact lens you want to use and everything, or you just say, hey, this is how I want it to look? That's your job to say, okay, we're gonna use this lens and this type of filter.
The second, I'm the director that says this is how I want it to look. I want these two cats in the frame. I want nothing that you use what lens you gotta use. Or I want this character in the frame and I want the skyline in the background. You do what you gotta do to make that happen. I'm not trying to guess lenses and that's not. Like I said, I stay in my lane, man, 100%.
Yeah.
So,
I know some people, it's sort of like, I guess we'll say a little intimidated by just because they don't know the difference between a 35 millimeter lens or 85. They feel like they're less of a director because they don't know all that technical stuff. It's like, nah, if you got your vision, your DP should be like, okay, this is what we can do. You know, so
exactly. That's how I feel, man. That's until I go to school and learn all that stuff. And that's why I got you, man. I got you here because you know.
Yeah.
I don't. All I could do is say, this is how I want it to look. This is the way I see it in my mind. Can you make that happen?
Yeah.
And that's it. Stay in my lane. And I don't expect them to tell me, well, your second act is weak. You should do this, do that in the second. Nah.
Yeah.
I'm completely closed off to that kind of thing from my DP or my grip. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, you know, the same vice versa. Just respect, man. I stay in my lane.
Word. Now we're gonna go transition to our reshoot segment, and what a reshoot is, if you premiering your film in front of a test audience, and you get your notes back and say, hey, we didn't like this, we didn't like that, or you're in the editing room and something just really didn't mesh well. What is a scene in all the short films that you've done? Is there a particular shot or scene that you could go back and say, I would reshoot that because it just irks me every time I see that?
Man, I just one. Well, let me say in general, man, as far as that concept goes, in general, I know one thing I've done on every film that I regret is kind of letting my circumstances dictate the story. Meaning, if I was not able to get a location I needed, or a certain number of actors or extras that I needed, I would do rewrites to adjust to what I did have. Mm-hmm. Now, in some cases, that's a good thing. You know, some people say that's what you gotta adapt. But like you said, then going back and watching the film, and you're like, man, I should have just did what I had to do to get that location or get those extras, whatever was necessary, because it kind of does change the story. So in general, I've done that in every film, and I regret it. And to be more specific, like just for Open Wounds, the last scene, like the climactic scene, we couldn't get the waiting room that we had been using. We couldn't use it anymore. Okay. On that last day of shooting. So I kind of had to make a couple tweaks to the script, and we found a spot, and it became like an exterior shot. So we were outside at that point. And it was just like, you know, the actors pulled it off. They carried it through, you know, still cool. But for me, knowing where the script had been, I was just like, should have just left it the way it was, man, you know. But you know, like I said, hindsight is 20/20. So I've done that in all four, man, more than once, I'm sure, if I go back and watch all of them. So
yeah, and that's the funny thing about reshoots is like the audience, that's beautiful, but you cringing in your seat like, nah, if y'all seen what I really could have did.
Right, exactly. It's rough, man. And people like, man, it was great. I like that scene. In the back of my mind, I'm like, you really like what it was supposed to be, you know?
Yeah. For as much success as Black Panther has gotten, I'm pretty sure Ryan Coogler sees something in the film like, I could have did that better. And we're like, what?
No, you know he absolutely, man. How could you not? How could you not, as the writer director? You know it was probably something in there where you thought maybe I could have cornered or something, or maybe I should have done this different. But you know, if the audience is happy, I guess.
Yeah. All right, we're gonna shoot to our 30 frames per second segment, and I'm gonna set the timer. And in 30 seconds, I'm just gonna rattle off a bunch of multiple questions, and you just say whatever comes to mind.
So I'm gonna edit this, right?
Yeah, I'm setting you up, baby, but I'm gonna help you a little bit. It's all fun and games, baby. All fun and games.
Sure.
All right. Who would win, Black Panther or Iron Man?
Black Panther.
Greatest Shaquille O'Neal movie, Shazam or Blue Chips?
Blue Chips.
Chi-Town representation, The Chi or Southside with You?
Whoo. The Shy.
All right. Watching TV, Power or Empire?
Power.
Best soundtrack, House Party or Nutty Professor?
House Party.
Best chick flick, Set It Off or Girls Trip?
Oh man. Set It Off.
All right.
Age on that one.
All right, we're good. I'll give you one more. We went over a little bit, but I'll give you one more. Best hood classic, Menace to Society or Belly?
Menace to Society. Man,
it's all good. Personally, I like Belly, but it's all good.
That's a hard one, man. That's a hard one. I just ain't want to take up all your time thinking about it.
It's all good. All right, well, we'll go to That's a Wrap segment, and this is the section where give us your social media, website, how people can contact you, all that good stuff.
All right, well, my website is www.chrispreyor.com, and Preyor is Preyor. I know it's spelled crazy, but it's Preyor, chrispreyor.com. In fact, all my short films are on the website, as well as my episodes of Moments, the web series. My Instagram and Twitter are both at Zari's Dad, ZARISDAD, at Zari's Dad. What else do we have out there? We got a Facebook page, Fifth and Two Entertainment, at Fifth and Two, at FIFFAND, the number 2. That's Facebook. That's about it as far as social media. And what else? What am I working on? But I got a couple projects coming up. Working on a new episode of Moments, starring Travis Schoaf. He was also in Open Wounds. So I'm working with him and his Fusion Flicks team to shoot that. Your boy Stovall, I wrote a short for him where he's playing 2 twin brothers in the short called Identical Sin. So I'll be working on that with him shortly. He's been waiting on me for a while, so I gotta get motivated, and we gotta knock that out for him.
Hey, you better use it while you can, because Stove gonna blow, man.
Man, I've been telling him that since Open Wounds, man. Yeah, it's gonna happen.
That guy got some skills, and he better not act funny when he see me in public.
Right, we know you watching this, so don't forget your boys, man. Don't forget your boys.
Word. Okay.
But, yeah, that's about it, man, and just a lot of writing.
Keep writing, bro. That's how you get to it. That's how you perfect that craft.
No doubt.
But I want to thank you, man, for kicking the next chapter of my filmmaking journey off. With basically this whole thing came about. Just wanted to chop it up with a bunch of filmmakers. It's the same thing I do at the film festivals I go to. Sit by the, outside in the lobby while the film playing, and we just chop it up.
Right.
Or at the party, opening night party, closing night party. So I was like, let me just get this thing documented with some cool filmmakers that I know. And I appreciate you for taking time out of your Sunday away from the fam and everything. So I appreciate you, boy.
Hey, man, I appreciate you having me, man. It was fun.
Yeah.
Thanks for thinking of me, man. No doubt.
No doubt. You're watching Video Village with Mo Ski, with my guest, Chris Preyor, and we'll holler back.